Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. It's Lou Larson here. I'm a professional guitar player and a professional guitar teacher. I live in the Cincinnati area. If anybody wants to come take some guitar lessons, I'm mostly in person, but I also do some virtual classes. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about a short that was released by Robin Nolan. Robin Nolan is a Gypsy Jazz guitar player. He always has tons of really cool stuff on his site, and I have a couple of his books, and sometimes I'll play a few of the tunes from the books with students in classes. So today, one of my students had texted me early in the morning and said that Robin Nolan had released a short. And in his short today, he showed some Gypsy Jazz Arpeggios, and he said this is a great exercise to build your skills. And so in the exercise, I'm pretty new at YouTube, so if anybody has advice for helping me out, feel free to contact me in the comments. I've been teaching guitar lessons since 1997. I've been teaching full-time and playing in bands. That's whenever I graduated from university, was 1997. And I have tons of experience and things that I am really excited about sharing on my YouTube channel, but I'm always feel like I'm not the best at using YouTube. My room isn't clean enough. I don't have the right lighting. So I've found a lot of excuses, but I finally decided that as of today, I'm going to start releasing some videos. So this morning, I received a text message from one of my students. It had a link to this YouTube video of Robin Nolan playing this really cool arpeggio exercise. And he calls it the Gypsy Jazz Arpeggios. And there's 3 arpeggios. There's an E minor arpeggio. He plays an E minor chord. And there's also an A minor arpeggio. I know I should take a newscaster class, something like that, to improve my on-screen YouTube skills. I was on a reality show in Sweden. You would think that they would have helped me improve my skills, but they basically just threw me to the fire. So the second chord is A minor, and then the third chord is B7. So here's the first chord again: E minor, A minor, B7. That's the really cool E minor 9 chord that Robin Nolan ends the example with. So in his video, and I'm going to try to link the video, maybe I can even show it in picture. I know that Rick Beato does that. I think it's super cool. I have to figure out how to do it because I'm really new at all this video software. So he plays this E minor arpeggio. And then he plays the A minor arpeggio, and then a B7. And then he hits the open E string, and I'll see if I can send a link to the video. So my student wanted to be able to play that, and plays guitar pretty well. He plays a lot of popular songs, rock songs, Led Zeppelin, Stevie Ray Vaughan, things like that. We're working on arpeggios and scales, but he wasn't able to just pick those elements out of Robin Nolan's short. So I thought that I would demonstrate how I would go about practicing this exercise. So the first thing that I need is this. I need my blank piece of paper. And then up at the top of the blank piece of paper, the first step we're going to do is we're going to write the numbers -5 and +7. Looks like this. And as I get more advanced with my videos, I'll be able to make that pop up on the screen. I'll have guitar tab and everything, but not there quite yet. But because of the guitar tuning, -5 and +7 is going to allow you to find notes on adjacent strings whenever you're moving from the thicker string to the thinner string. And so we're looking for E. So our first E note is string 6, thickest string on the guitar. And if you have a tuner, you can check that if you don't believe me. I don't know if you can see my tuner. E. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now, here's the question. How do we find E on our next adjacent string? So we just found E on string 6. So I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to write a 6. And I'm going to put that in a circle. If 6 is in a circle, number in a circle indicates a string. And next to that, I'm going to write 0. I'm also going to write comma 12 because I know from studying music that there's 12 notes to the octave and that the E repeats itself on string 6 fret 12. So I have string 6 and I have 0. So now I need to find the E on string 5. So I'm going to go to string 5 and I was at 0, and from 0 I'm going to go -5 or +7. Well, I can't go -5 because I'm already at 0. That would actually be -5. That would be a note somewhere down here around the headstock. But I can go +7. So I'm going to come up to the 7th fret. Can you see my tuner? E. So next to my 5 in the circle, I'm going to write a 7. I'm going to continue this process. So I'm going to go to 4. I'm going to put 4 in a circle. So I just was at 7. And from 7, I'm going to go -5. So 7 minus 5 is 2. Guess what? Oh, it's not showing up on the screen. I need to scoot over just a little bit. All these problems I have to work out in order to have a YouTube channel. E. So on the, I have 4 in a circle, and next to it I write 2. And what I'm doing is I'm figuring out where each E is on every string, on all 6 strings. So now I write 3 in a circle. So I take 2 and I add 7, because if I subtract 5, that's going to put me down here. So I go 2 plus 7. There we go. I can see the tuner. It says E. So that's going to be a 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. Now, if anyone has studied the tuning of the guitar, you will know that the strings are not symmetrical intervals. I'm going to do another video and talk about the different intervals between the strings. But for right now, the thing that you need to remember is that on string 2, you have to add 1. Add 1. So up here where I wrote -5 and +7, I write a 2 in a circle, and then I put bump it up 1 fret. So I remember that. I say it to myself, bump it up 1 fret. So I just played fret 3 at 9. So I'm going to go 9, -5. That gets me to 4. Oh, that's the wrong note. I got to bump it up 1 fret. There we go. Fret 5. So on 2, I have fret 5. Now, the last string is 1. So I just did 5. I can go 5 minus 5. That's 0. That is E. Or I can go 5 plus 7. That's also E. So I have 0 and 12. So this is what my chart looks like at this point. I have 6 in a circle. It's a 6 string. And E, I'm going to write above this E notes. So on string 6, E is on 0 or 12. On string 5, it's on fret 7. On string 4, it's on fret 2. On 3, it's on fret 9. On 2, it's on fret 5. And on string 1, it's 0 or 12. So these are the frets. The number in the circle is the string. And these are the frets. So that's step 1 of being able to play this cool gypsy jazz exercise. Step 2 is we need to know what an arpeggio is, and we need to learn how to play it. So the first arpeggio we play is an E minor arpeggio. And an E minor arpeggio, that's a vocabulary term, and it's something like let's say 10 kilometers, that you wouldn't just know just off of the top of your head exactly how far 10 kilometers is. You would need to measure that, or already have it pre-measured and have it marked on the road, something like that. And so there's a ton of great reference books, but this particular instance, I already have my arpeggios memorized because I've studied a lot of music theory. So I know that E minor arpeggio, it equals the notes E, G, and B. So on string 6, this is fret 0, 3, and 7. This is important because the 0, 3, and 7 indicates the gaps between the letters that make up this E minor arpeggio. But if we play these same gaps starting on a different note, we'll end up with a minor arpeggio, but it won't be E. So I'm going to demonstrate this really quick, and then I'm going to show you how to do the exercise. So on the E string, I'm going to play 0, 3, and 7. That's the notes in this chord, E minor. If I go to string 5, this is the A string, and I go 0, 3, 7, 3, 0. That's the same thing. I have the root, minor third, 7, back to the minor third, root. I can do this on any open string. I can start on B. That would be the notes, the individual notes in the B minor chord. And so this is going to be the first thing that we need to do to build the skills to be able to play this exercise that Robin Nolan was playing. That in my experience, that just starting with the exercise that he plays, it doesn't really get you there. It gives you the opportunity to copy what he's playing, but he wasn't able to generate those ideas or play those arpeggios because he was just copying them from somebody. He has a working knowledge of music theory, and he was following the chords that are common to different types of songs. In this instance, it would be an E minor blues. So the next step that we're going to do is we're going to do this E, right? But here, this is not a real practical way to play the E minor because we have this big stretch and everything's on one string. So we can go back to our original -5 plus 7. It's written up here at the top. It's hard to see this backwards, but I can go back to that, and I take the 7, and if I go 7 minus 5, I come up with 2. So this note, B, which is string 6 fret 7, repeats itself on string 5 fret 2. So I can go 0, 3, string 5 fret 2, And this is my E minor arpeggio. 0, 3, 2, 3. I can play the same thing. I can go 12 frets higher. Remember, I played 0, 3, and 7. I have this written down here, so I can go 12 plus 0, that's 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. And remember, I moved the 7 onto the next string, so I go 12 plus 2, so I can go. So, if you notice this, what am I doing? I have my index finger on 12. I have one finger per fret. I always joke and say this is like a zone defense in sports. Each finger is covering its own fret. That's the zone. So I go 12, 15, 14, 15. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to go to string 5. And so I can write a note down here at the bottom of the page where it says 7. I could write a note below, and I could write 5 in a circle, and I could write 2. And so I could write 7 minus 5 equals 2. So I've written that down at the bottom just to remind myself that I'm going to play 0, 3, and then on the adjacent string, in this instance it's 5, I'm going to play fret 2. So now I know how to play one arpeggio. I dropped my pick. Okay, so here's my one arpeggio. 0, 3, 2, 3, 0. Now I'm going to come down here to 7, 12, come down to 12. And now I'm going to move the pattern. I don't need to think about this every time because my fingers are spaced across the frets. So I have my root note, which is E, on string 6. The next interval, which is called a minor third, is going to be underneath my little finger. You notice I have one finger per fret. And then the 5th of the chord, which is the third note, is going to be on the adjacent string. And I know I'm introducing there's a lot of different ideas, and I'm planning to make a bunch of videos to talk about a lot of these things. The names of the notes and how the intervals are named in music. Also playing in position, holding the guitar, good left hand technique. There's just so much stuff to talk about. So let's hope that I can figure out how to use my various software. I need to get a better software, I'm sure. I'm using the Logitech software that came with my webcam. So here I'm going to go to string 5, fret 7. And there's my E minor arpeggio. It's string 5, fret 7, string 5, fret 10, and then I move to the adjacent string, and it's fret 9. So now I have this. From here, I'm on fret 7. So remember, I'm going to go to, I have it written down here, string 4, that's 4 in a circle, and I have a 2. And 2 is going to be E, that's going to be my root note. So I'm going to go to string 4, fret 2. Fingers are one finger per fret. I play the same pattern, index finger, 4th finger, no stretches. Now, from here, I go from 2, I'm going to head down 7 frets. I have it written down. String 3, fret 9. That's my E. So I'm going to play the E minor arpeggio, but I know ahead of time, I've done this before, when I get to string 2, that I need to bump it up a fret. So I'm going to go 9, 12, and if I kept the same pattern, listen to how this sounds. It's diminished. It's not the sound we're looking for. What we're looking for is this. 9, 12, 12. So I change the fingering. I go finger 1, finger 4, and then I do a little hinge bar, a roll across, play 12. From here, I fret 9. I'm going to move to string 2. It's going to be fret 5. I have that written down, string 2, and I'm back to my original pattern because I only have to make adjustments on string 2. And then I have string 1. It's open, 3, 7. Now here's my first exercise. 0, 3, 2. Sorry, made a mistake. So I played E minor with the root on every string. And I started all these on my index finger, finger number 1. So I call these form 1 arpeggios because I started on finger 1. That in the example of the Gypsy Jazz exercises that Robin Nolan demonstrates, he starts on finger 1 because he's playing in the style of Django Reinhardt, and Django Reinhardt only had 2 fingers on his left hand. And hopefully you are familiar with Django Reinhardt. Django Reinhardt is just a genius, amazing guitar player, and Robin Nolan has dedicated his channel to playing in that style. So all the Robin Nolan videos I've seen, he only plays Gypsy Jazz. So we're going to do, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this. And then I can start my next arpeggio. And if I wanted to, I could even do a third one. So I could do arpeggio 1, E, G, B. Then I'm going to start another arpeggio. This one, since I'm already at the 2nd fret, this is what I'm actually thinking. And since I have these written down already, so I ended at the 2nd fret. I started on string 6, and I ended at the 2nd fret, and I noticed, well, look, there's an E at the 2nd fret. So I can just do my pattern again. So I go. Now I'm at the 4th fret, so I can look, and I'm on string 3. So on string 3, I can see that going to string 5, fret 2, that's my next best pattern. So I have this. And that's pretty similar to what Robert Nolan is doing. So again, I'm gonna back this up. I know I've been talking for a long time, 22 minutes. Who knows how long this video is gonna be? So, but the way that you learn how to do this and develop facility with it is that you play the individual arpeggios with the root on every string. So I go. So now I can actually put 2 of those together. That's what I'm doing. I'm going. Actually, I put 3 together. And the way that I'm able to find these, do you notice this? I do it in position. So I start, my hand's at the 2nd fret. I go open, 3rd. That's my first arpeggio. Now I'm going to do the next arpeggio that I practiced. 1, 4, 3. And then I'm going to go up here to string 2, fret 5. So I'm going to reverse this. I have my 3rd finger here. I haven't lifted it up. I'm just going to go 3, 4, 1. Now, on the descending pattern, I really need to think because I ended up on fret 2. That's where my E was. So I'm going to need to move my hand down there to fret 2. So I'll go. And this is almost exactly what Robin Nolan does, except he uses different fingers. And so there's 2 octaves, and if you notice, I'm doing it in what he calls the Django Reinhardt style. I'm playing it with only 2 fingers. Now, whenever you're trying to play it with only 2 fingers, a lot of times people, they just try to memorize the tablature or the fret numbers. But you'll learn so much more if you actually remember the pattern for the arpeggio, which is 0 plus 3, and then -1 to the adjacent string or 2 up. So if I'm on 3, I think I go down 1 to 2. So I go 0, 3, 2, 3. So I can do this on any. Here I'm moving, I'm just playing it, I'm playing an A, string 6 fret 5 is an A note, so I'm going to play my pattern. If I move up 1 fret, I'm on string 6 fret 6. This first note, this is a B flat note, so I'm going to do the same pattern. Move up again, B. And what I'm demonstrating is how you can play a minor arpeggio starting on lots of different roots. So I have A minor arpeggio, B flat minor arpeggio, B arpeggio, C arpeggio, C sharp. And so we're 25 minutes in. And why am I talking about this so much? The reason why I'm talking about it so much is because I teach a ton of guitar lessons, and I know that the person that sent me a text message this morning, this is the way that he needs to approach learning these arpeggios in order to be able to play Robin Nolan's exercise. So I'm going to go. Now, one of the things that's very interesting is that in the Robin Nolan exercise, he adds an extra note. So the arpeggio that he plays, the first arpeggio he plays is E minor. He plays 1 octave E minor, and it has 3 notes in it, this. Then he actually moves to a different arpeggio, and the arpeggio is a really cool arpeggio. It's very haunting sounding. It's called an E minor with a major 7th. And so the major 7th is 11 steps away from the root note. So our arpeggio now is going to be E, G, B, D sharp, and E. So I'm adding the octave. I'm going all the way to the octave. So I've written this down at the bottom of my page. I've written 0, 3, 7, 11, 12. You should have that also written on the page. So now I'm going to play this arpeggio. That's the E minor with a major 7th. And he plays that here. He plays. So he only plays that minor with the major 7th arpeggio for the second pattern. So whenever he demonstrates this, he plays it here. He goes string 4 fret 2. We just played this arpeggio, but I'm playing again. It's E minor. He goes string 4 fret 2, string 4 fret 5, string 3 fret 4. Now he plays this D sharp, string 4 fret 4, and then he plays the octave, string 2 fret 5. I'm sorry, it's string 2 fret 4, and then string 2 fret 5. So this is an E note. He's ending on an E note. I still need to move over further so you can see my tuner. See the E, D sharp. So we have this. I accidentally played a C in there, but the notes are E, G, B, D sharp. So I'm playing it forward and backwards. That's how you should practice it. So now comes the tricky part. To make it gypsy-like, that we're going to do this. We're going to do the slide. So we're going to play these same frets: string 4 fret 2, string 4 fret 5, string 3 fret 4, string 2 fret 4, string 2 fret 5. But we're going to go like this: index finger, Second finger, that's on string 4, fret 5. Index finger on 4, string 3, fret 4. Index finger on string 2, fret 4. And then this finger is going to play E. So I'm going to go. So he plays that pretty fast, so you have to practice that a lot. So I'm going to go. So a lot of times people ask me, how do you pick this up so fast? I'm actually not picking it up fast. I already know how to play these arpeggios. I've been playing guitar since I was a little kid, and I've practiced a lot, and I've practiced arpeggios and scales. This is the fundamentals of being able to play almost any style. So the way that he plays it, I've never played that before, but I've played the individual arpeggios before. And I know this is how you go about learning it. You play 3, 2. You notice what I'm doing? I'm ending on E. I go E, G, B, E. So I go E, G, B, E. Then I'm gonna do the second part. We'll do it in with the two fingers. I added that. You'll hear that a lot. I hear a lot of those gypsy guys do that. They go. E minor 9. I like that chord. All right, I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, so the next thing I'm going to show you is where the A's are. We're going to find the A's, and we're going to learn how to play the A minor arpeggio. It's going to be the exact same pattern. So the A is on string 6, fret 5. Looks like this. String 6, fret 5. So I'm going to go through and do the math first, and then I'll play them. So I have string 6, fret 5. I go to string 5. Remember my numbers up here? -5 or +7. Bump it up 1 on string 2. So on 5, I'm going to go 5 minus 5, that can be 0, or 5 plus 7, which is 12. On 4, I'm going to start with 0, it's easier. On 4, I'll go 0 plus 7, that's 7. On 3, I'll go 7 minus 5, that's 2. On 2, I'll go 2 plus 7, which is 9, but I have to bump it up 1, so I go to 10. And then on 1, I'm back to 5 and 0. 5 and 0. Sorry. On 1, I'm back to 5. I was thinking about E. So these are all my A notes. So I can go through and I can do the same exact pattern that we just played. If we remember when we played our E note, E arpeggio, we discovered that if we put our index finger on E and we have our fingers in position, which means one finger per fret, I can go 1, 4, 3. So now I'm going to find the A's and I'm going to do the same thing. A. Or I can do. Now I'm going to find A on string 5. It's on 12. I'm going to find A on string 4. It's on 7. I'm going to find A on string 3. So notice what I had to do, because I have to bump it up on string 2. I went 1, 4, 4, string 2. So there's all my A's. And so the pattern that Robin Nolan uses in his video, it's this same. That's the pattern starting on my index finger. I go 1, 4, 3, then I move to the next A. 1, 4, 3, 3, 4. So I go. So that's my A pattern. So remember, you're going to practice A on every single string. So the next chord is actually a dominant 7th chord. This one's a little bit harder. It starts with a major triad. So it's a major chord, and then it has an extra note added that's a minor 7th. In classical music, the musicians call it a major minor 7th, but in popular music, it's usually just the letter B and the number 7, in this case, B7. Its real full name would be B dominant 7th. That's in popular music, but most people just drop the dominant part and they just say B7. It's like a major chord. If somebody says, do you play a C chord, they really want you to play C major, but they usually will just say C. So we're going to find our B notes, and what we're going to have is we're going to have our string. That's our circle in the number, and our fret, and this is going to be the B notes. And remember, we go -5 or +7, bump it up, +1 on string 2. So I'm going to start on string 6, and it's going to be fret 7. I have this memorized. I have a chart, and I have some really great music theory exercises to help people really learn how to figure out where the notes are on the guitar. A lot of times people ask me about memorizing them, but what I have found that it's a lot faster if you actually learn how to find them. I say using deductive reasoning. Then as you get faster at that, you don't really have to memorize them because you can figure out where they are. So I can see here, a little bit out of tune, B, and that is string 6 fret 7. So remember, I go 7 -5. So on the next string, that's fret 5, it's going to be 2. On 4, I'm going to go 2 + 7, that's 9. On 3, I go 9 -5, that's 4. On 2, I go 4 + 7, which is 11, but I have to bump it up 1, that's 12. And then I'm down to 1, string 1, and that's back to fret 7. Now, I could do probably a whole series of these lessons just on playing dominant chords and how to play them quickly and easily. And so I've noticed how long my video is getting. So I'm just going to demonstrate how to play the B7, and I'll do another video later on how to play dominant chords and how to find them. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to come to fret 7, and this is, remember how the last chord we played was a minor chord, so we put our index finger and then we put our little finger on the same string? Well, the arpeggio for the B7 is it's a stretch. So if you can see that, that stretch, that can be a pretty big stretch. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this 2, 1, 4, and that's the same. So I'm gonna start on my middle finger. This is the easiest way to play major arpeggio. So I'm gonna go middle finger, index finger on the next string, so I'm 1 fret lower. So I go string 6, fret 7, string 5, fret 6 with my index finger, and then I go string 5, fret 9 with my little finger. So I go middle finger, index finger, little finger. There's my major arpeggio. Now, to turn this into a dominant 7th, I need to add the minor 7th, which is 10 frets away, and that's going to be here. Remember, I know I'm not explaining this. I'm going to do another video where I talk about these dominant 7th chords at length, but for right now, I'm just going to show you how to play the arpeggio. So I go, I don't like to do that, but my video is going to be 2 hours long. There's my dominant 7th arpeggio. So I have string 6, fret 7, string 5, fret 6, string 5, fret 9, string 4, fret 7, and then string 4, fret 9. And then in the Robin Nolan video, he switches to actually a different fingering. In the earlier arpeggios, he used one fingering, and he would move that to different octaves. Here he switches to this. He plays the same notes, but he uses a different fingering. So starting on finger 4, I'm going to start with my finger 4. String 4, I'm going to start with my third finger. String 3, second finger, which this is 9, 8 with my middle finger, 7 with my index finger. Little finger goes to 10, and then my index finger plays another B on string 1. So I started on B. So the notes I'm playing, B, I think you can see them. Let's see. D sharp, F sharp, A, B. So I go B. So then when we put the whole Gypsy Jazz Arpeggio exercise together, we do E minor. Then we do the same exact pattern we just played, but 5 frets higher. And then we're going to do our B7 arpeggio. 7, 6, 9, 7, 9, 8, 7, 10, then back down. And then whenever he does it, he goes like this. He goes 7, 6, 9, 7, 9, 8, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 8, 9, 7, 9, 6, and so he goes, sorry. Let me do it one more time. I've been talking so much about arpeggios, I forgot how to play the exercise. All right. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I want to do a whole bunch more classes, online lessons. I want to break stuff down. If anyone has any questions, things that they want some answers to, let me know. If anybody's an expert on video editing and software, let me know about that too. I do have a website. I think it's listed on my YouTube page. It's Larson, that's my last name, LARSON .music.studio. Actually, that's not true. That's my email address. My website is now-guitar, now-guitar.com. So I really need to update that too. So I'm trying to get some stuff going with my media and share all the information I've had. I teach guitar lessons 5 or 6 days a week. And I just see questions that everyone has. There's so much great content on YouTube, but a lot of times on YouTube, it's really common for people to come into their lesson and they'll show me a video. They'll say, I've been watching this video online and I'm not familiar with some of these concepts. And you can see I've already talked for 45 minutes about 2 arpeggios. So if you're trying to knock out whole songs or things like that, that it can take a lot of time. But I always tell all the people, my students all play great, and I really enjoy my classes. But I always tell everyone that if you listen, say, to Jeff Beck playing Goodbye Pork Pie Hat or Cosby Ended His Lovers, that it's really unlikely that you're going to learn to play like Jeff Beck by just memorizing the guitar tablature. And the reason why is because that's not how Jeff Beck learned how to play like Jeff Beck. He didn't just memorize guitar tab or only figure out songs. That's a part of what we do, and it really helps to hone your skills. But being able to do some analysis and understanding how to practice smart, practice in ways that are productive. So you're practicing, like in our example, we're practicing just this 1 octave arpeggio. You practice that, you practice that, you practice that. And then whenever I see the Gypsy Jazz Arpeggio Exercise, I can see that it's this arpeggio that I'm already familiar with, but it's played in 2 different octaves. So it's not as overwhelming, and I know how to break it down, and I already have it in my fingers. So, all right. Hopefully I'll get some likes. I know that's a big thing. I have a younger daughter, and she's always talking about that. So I'll get some likes, and people will find this helpful. All right. Take care.